The Civic Type-R is a fine car, but without vents for the rear passengers, I was getting some squawking when I put people in the back seat. So I decided to solve that with the Mikstore rear vent kit.
I'm installing the rear vents from Mikstore, but just wanted to make a couple of installation notes for the FL5 because it is slightly different than the other 11th gen Civics. So first of all, the shift knob. This is what the clip looks like. This is the retaining nut for the shifter. This clip is held on by this and these little tabs. The way I find easiest to get this off is to actually take the boot off of the retainer, which means removing that little the little zip tie that holds it on, and then putting a little screwdriver just right behind the this little tab and pushing down for the shift knob at the same time. Once you do that correctly, it'll come off. You can see that the little retaining nut has a slightly beveled edge on either side, so it makes this thing really easy to click on, but it's a pain to get off, and it is pretty fragile and light and easy to break, so just be careful. There are flats on this nut to back it off from the shift knob, and they are 14 millimeter. 6 bolts that are either Phillips head or 8 millimeter. You can use either to take them out, but these two are underneath the cup holder, and the cup holder in the manual transmissions has to be removed. There's only 4 clips holding it in, lifts straight out. It's kind of hard to get a grip on, and yeah, then just lift the cup holder directly out. The other thing that's a pain are these wire clips. You can see I bent this one pretty good. Gonna retape that, but it's good to pull those out. You got to pull this out of the center console as well as the 2 connectors. There's a bunch of connectors here that are behind the charging port and the USB ports that you've got to remove. These are all fairly simple to remove. There's a clip and a push button on each one that comes out, and then the center console lifts out. I had to pull it out through the back seat. Okay, center console is out of the car. The fasteners, there's 2 here, there's 2 here underneath the cup holder, and then the 2 in the front that hold this in, and the whole thing just lifts out. Be careful of this connector. I didn't see it at first. It almost pulled it out. It just disconnects from the car, and the center console lifts off. And then to get this panel off, start prying here, and it just comes right out. There's 2 clips that hold it in on each side. Be careful, the spring for the console lid is pretty greasy. Okay, once we have the center console off, then we want to take the air distribution. This part just pops out that you can see feeds the lower floor vents. And then this piece comes off and is replaced with this that has the connector for the rear. These clips, there's 4 clips on the back that hold that in, are a little tricky. The top ones are super easy to reach, the bottom ones are not. So coming in from the driver's side, you can see that I've unclipped the top, but the bottom clips are being a little stubborn. They're right here, and get a screwdriver in there and pop those out. So yeah, you'll want to be more careful than I was. Managed to break a little bit of the stock clips, and we'll have to replace this part if I ever put it back to stock. Wow, getting that new air distribution block in there was a little bit hard. It certainly made a louder snap noise when it popped into place than I expected, so just be warned about that. All right, this is going to be a little hard to see, but then you put this huge tube past the shifter and connect it to the lower port of this distribution thing, and that's what gets air to the back. All right, we've got the tube situated. That took a little bit of Tetris to get it in place, and then we'll just clip it into, not there, but the lower connection that's behind there. All right, you can see the lower tube is now connected. Took some little finagling to get the tube in, but it's all ready to go. All right, we've got the new air distribution thing set up, and both the connectors in, and I think we're just ready to put the center console back in. All right, we've installed the USB panel for the rear vents, and we'll connect that into the car, and then we just snap it in place. I nearly forgot a step. You see how the stock clips are pretty flat? Well, the ones that ship have a little lip on them, so we're gonna have to cut that off on the top and the bottom. All right, well, we smoothed out the clips and hopefully they will now slide in properly. Okay, we've got the rear panel on. I'd say fitment is not quite perfect. It's probably a 6 out of 10, but it's gonna be hard to notice when it's in the car. Well, not super happy with the fitment here. You can see that it doesn't quite click in the same way stock does, but I think it'll be pretty unnoticeable once it's in the car. Okay, then you just run the cable for the USB ports up to the cigarette lighter and piggyback it on. This is the side for the wiring harness. This plugs into the cigarette lighter adapter. And put it all back together. Okay, we've got all 6 bolts back in. And we're gonna connect this spaghetti mess of wiring back together. All right, we're almost done here. Just remember to put the snap the cup holder back in before you snap the center console in, because the center console has to snap into the cup holder. The other tricky thing to watch out for is make sure you actually get this clip right here past the cup holder. It's the easiest one to break off, probably. All right, and we're all buttoned up, and yep, getting a decent amount of air out of the vents back there. Like I was saying, the fitment is not perfect back there, but it's pretty hard to see, and your rear passengers will start to thank you.